Guess what happened after I uploaded my very first YouTube video introducing TCM, traditional Chinese medicine? Someone left a comment asking, has any part of Chinese medicine ever been scientifically tested, like in terms of actually curing an illness? I will offer you loads of examples at the end of this video, but right now I just want to share my feelings. I realized I wasn't just a YouTuber anymore. A sense of responsibility suddenly came over me because I really wanted to respond to this comment and answer important questions people have about TCM. Actually, it's not just the Western people have. Chinese people also have these questions. So if we were to describe it, if I have to answer this question, put this logic within the Western research framework, I would say that TCM is something systematic, evidence-based practice. It is developed through continuous observation and empirical refinement. However, the truth is that TCM has its own logic of validation, which developed long before modern laboratory science. This is the tricky thing. This is what makes it so hard to explain. And today, what we are seeing is that Western is meeting the West, the East. Here is how they are meeting in the middle, actually. As our understanding on health continues to evolve, the limitations of the purely biomedical model have become increasingly restrained. It struggles to explain or treat complex chronic and psychosomatic conditions. So out of this recognition, the biopsychosocial model emerged, acknowledging that health is shaped by the unity of biology, psychology, and society. So the core here is unity. Because this holistic idea, which is now seen as the modern innovation in Western medicine, was clearly articulated more than 2,000 years ago in the Yellow Emperor's Inner Canon. This is a fundamental text of TCM. If you're interested, you can go up to my last video for a detailed introduction. So in other words, what the biopsychosocial model is only beginning to recognize today, Chinese medicine had long regarded as fundamental. That is the unity of human beings with nature and society. And in my next video, I will introduce how this is interconnected. So this process may not involve microscopes or randomized trials, which I believe are things that you want to see. TCM actually has its own way of validation. So right now I'm going to give you some well-known examples, which are things that you may know as well. The first one will be artemisinin, something that won the Nobel Prize. This element was derived from Artemisia annua, or Qinghao in Chinese. It was discovered through the study of ancient TCM texts called Prescriptions for Emergent Reference. This is also a book written based on the Yellow Emperor's Inner Canon. So the Huangdi Neijing Yellow Emperor's Inner Canon forms a framework, and a lot of scholars just build on this to write a lot of their own books, and they formed different kind of schools. And we also have some formulas that has been validated clinically to treat cardiovascular diseases such as 六味地黄丸. Another traditional technique from TCM is acupuncture, which has been tested through neuroimaging and controlled clinical trials. And it has shown measurable effects on pain modulation and neuroregulation. But I want you to know is that not every TCM concept can or should be tested by the same methods used for single molecule drugs. This is because many of the theories describe dynamic relations and functions rather than fixed substances. For example, how am I going to introduce qi, yin, and yang balance, as they are not molecular entities, but conceptual tools to describe complex physiological interactions. So to truly evaluate them, we need systematic biology, network pharmacology, and integrative medicine research. These are also fields that are now emerging worldwide. So in the next video, I'm going to introduce what is qi in TCM and why Chinese believe that qi is the origin of the world.